Welcome to the Pulse with Peter B. I'm your host, Peter Biancamano. Let's get you to the pulse on everything you need to know. And a few weeks ago, we had a representative from Main Street Pops on, and that was Miss Tracy Gavant to discuss the first part of the film festival. And we're so happy that another member, I'm going to call you the Three Musketeers, right or wrong?
Okay.
And that's Shane Gettins is here today. How are you, Shane?
I'm good, thank you. So yes, Tracy is my partner, and then Sabrina Stoffel is the third partner in crime, and myself, Shan. And we started Main Street Pops about a year ago to do community activism, community social events for Hoboken.
Exactly. Look at that. She gave us the little introduction. You're kind of doing my job for me. I absolutely love this, Shan. I really do. I think that's fantastic. So, the first part of the film festival was, I would say, about 2 to 3 weeks ago right now,
That's
correct?
correct.
And how did you guys do? How much did you raise?
We did so well. Thank you to everybody out there that bought the tickets on Eventbrite. They were only $10 each. The movies were great. We've had so much fantastic feedback. And then the ticket sales combined with the sales from the painted or the artist decorated H's. I actually have one here.
Oh, okay.
Hang on one
Going
second.
over actions. I like this. Don't
Yeah, I've
worry.
got
I like
props.
this.
Okay.
This is live and oh, look at that.
So this is
That
Brittany
cool.
Vogel's one, and we had 7 local artists decorate these H's for us. They were from Hoboken Custom Craft, and then they were decorated, and we auctioned these off on the Flag website. So the Flag website combination of the H sales and our combination of the Eventbrite ticket sales came to, we're currently at 6,400, but we have a couple more bits of money to get in from the H's. So that was over $2,000 for each of the 3 charities. So it was the homeless shelter,
Excellent.
the food pantry, and Flag. And obviously that's amazing to be able to give that money to all of the people in Hoboken that really need to be fed right now.
Which is fantastic. And after Tracy was on in the last segment, for you, like I mentioned a few weeks ago, people have asked me if the H's are still available. Are they still available for
So
auction?
the H's are still available. The original H was from, as I say, Custom
There it
Craft,
is.
and that's
Yes.
the original H. That is still available. You can buy that through Custom Craft, and a percentage of the money from those also goes to Flag to feed the first responders.
So get on there.
So get on there.
Yeah, absolutely. Main Street Pops, absolutely.
Okay, yeah,
So,
Main Street Pops for everything. We've got all the information you need for any of the information you're after.
I like to call it your one-stop shop.
It's one-stop shop for Eventbrite, for the H's, for whatever you want information about. You can look us up on Main Street Pops or info@Main Street Pops.
So, absolutely. So now, your second part of your film festival is coming up, June 4th. That's this upcoming week. You're not going to want to miss it. You're going to want to purchase tickets. It's $10. I know I purchased the last ticket.
I know.
And they had all of these wonderful films that we'll put up on your screen right now. So there are newer films this time around, correct?
That's correct.
Any of your favorites?
So
that pop up?
they're all fantastic because they're all short. So even if you don't really like one, you only have to sit through it for 2 minutes before you come to one that you really like. It's a virtual screening again. So the whole point is to create a community event from your couch. So you don't have to go out, you can sit on your couch, and if you want to comment while you're watching the movies with your friends, you can do that. Or the tag is live for 5 days. So that Eventbrite link is live for 5 days. So you can go and find your favorites. A couple of my favorites are, there's one called Old Broads. I didn't call them that, they actually called themselves that. And it's these wonderful women who were kind of told they were too old to do this stuff in the wildlife with wolves, and they were like, I don't care what you say, I'm gonna do it anyway. And that's fantastic, I love that one. There's one by a photographer called Clay Bolt, and he takes these incredible photos of things that you wouldn't even know were sitting on the leaf next to you. His magnifying glass on his camera is insane and it's just all photos. It's a total photography short movie. And then of course my favorite, because I am a mum, is the Wild Toddler Chronicles, where these super brave parents take their toddler out into the kind of wild to camp and pitch tents and go on hikes with her, and it's just super fantastic to see this young toddler commenting on, you know, the nature at large. So that's one of my favorites.
And what I was admired about the first round of screenings, let's just say, was that it's stuff that you can't find on your HBO, on your IFC, and everything else. It is so, you know, it was almost like motivational to me. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
It
We
was
call
great.
it a virtual breath of fresh air
Right.
because we've all been stuck inside. None of us can go hiking. None of us. There's a movie about mountain biking. None of us can go mountain biking right now necessarily. So you can sit at home and you can really appreciate these movies about the environment, about what we're missing out on right now. And you can just really sort of see how different people appreciate what's around them. And it's just so fantastic. And as I said, it's $10.
$10.
$10.
It's like nothing.
It's $5 for a Netflix movie, right? So
There you
it's
go.
$10,
Very
and
good
this
point.
is all original content.
Content.
That is done through the Wild and Scenic Film Festival. People like submit these movies to the Wild and Scenic Film Festival, which is a national organization. And then obviously we choose from their content what we would love to air in Hoboken. And as you know, Hoboken's like an environmental lead town.
Yeah, of course.
So we hoped that a lot of people would be into these environmental
One of the first
movies.
cities in New Jersey to ban plastic bags. Anyway, you're
Yeah.
wearing this really cool T-shirt that I'm so jealous about.
Well,
but I know
really?
that it has something to do with almost like the H had something to do with the first part of the film festival. The T-shirts have something to do with the second part. So I was wondering if you can.
As I say, you can buy your tickets for the films. We'd love you to watch the films at $10 a go. All of the money from the second film festival is going to the Hoboken Small Business Relief. So all of the money from the Eventbrite tickets is going to the Small Business Hoboken Relief Fund. And then these T-shirts, $12 from every T-shirt sold, will also go to the Hoboken Relief Small Business Fund.
That's great.
And we're calling it our H Parade because we went from this original one to the artist decorated one
Okay.
to putting it on a t-shirt for people to be able to buy.
That's how you know they have their things together over
Yeah,
at Main
I
Street
know.
Pops.
We're-
Let
yeah,
me tell you.
we're doing it,
and it's
and-
3 people, the 3 Musketeers, like I call
We
them.
even have one for Peter.
Oh my God! I got a gift on air. This has never happened before.
It's by
it looks-
Ricky Roy, our local Hoboken artist. All 7
Look at that.
designs are by
Look at
local
that.
artists.
Look at that.
And the way I'm wearing is from Ray Guzman, who's also
God.
a sign writer
I
in
love
Hoboken.
Ray and I love Ricardo.
Love
They're
Ray.
both fantastic.
And then I have another one actually, which was by Andrew Drillon, which was hard in the wind, but he designed
sure.
the one with the first responders on it.
Oh,
So
that's fabulous.
So again, please buy tickets for the film festival and please buy these T-shirts so that we can give back to Hoboken, the small businesses
What
are really
better?
suffering.
You get a really cool T-shirt, folks, and then you get to help out the small businesses who are struggling mightily through this.
Yeah.
And the Hoboken Relief Fund has done a phenomenal job so far. And for Main Street Pops to work with them, that's fantastic. It really is.
We really want to give back. We really want to try. You know, the first thing was feeding Hoboken, and the second thing is really getting these small businesses that we know and love back up on their feet. You know, I want to still be able to go out and buy coffee and a pizza and a gin and tonic, and if we don't help them right now, they're not going to be around in time to come.
Well, there is a third part to this film festival. I can't believe it.
There
Like,
is.
you guys haven't done enough good, you know?
We're trying.
I mean, do you have a date set for this third part?
We do. It's July 10th,
Perfect.
and it's the third film festival. Again, you can buy the tickets for all of these events on mainstreetpops.com. All 3 film festivals are listed, so you can just click on which ones you want to purchase.
And that's a good question. Sorry to interrupt you.
Yeah.
So you could still purchase the first film festival, correct, and watch all the films, or no?
The first film festival is now finished. It's
Oh,
only
sorry,
live
okay.
for 5 days, but the second film festival and then the third film festival, or we had a lot of people obviously watching the first one and then immediately went on to purchase tickets for the second one because they were like, that was so fun, I loved it.
What better?
And so you could buy tickets for the second and the third one, and again, they're live for 5 days. And I really do believe that people will love these movies. I've had fantastic feedback from everybody and they don't have to be nice to me. But
Why not? I mean, you're doing all these great things for the community,
but the
along
third-
with Tracy and Sabrina,
yeah,
of course.
but
Yes,
the third
absolutely.
event we're doing for Mile Square Theatre,
Great.
which is super close to Sabrina and Tracy's heart. They're both on the board of Mile Square Theatre, and it's really a fantastic thing to have in our town is a professional theatre space. So all of the funds that we raise from the third one will go to Mile Square Theatre. So we can't wait. I love Chris, he's dear to my heart, so we want to do that. And then I should also say that
Sure.
with the t-shirts, I didn't give a shout out to Solid Threads, is
Yes.
who we actually teamed up with them. They used to have a store on First Street.
Yep.
Unfortunately, they nixed the store with the pandemic, but they've gone online and they're still near and dear to Hoboken and the people that live in Hoboken. And you can go to solidthreads.com/Hoboken for the t-shirts as well if you don't want to go through the Main Street Pops website. So,
And they're available in different colors, folks, and we're
yeah.
going to put it on the screen for you and all that
there's
good
like
stuff.
4 or 5 different colors.
I
for
just
the
like the
different
baby blue
designs.
because it matches my eyes.
Mhm.
So, anyway, that's great. And by the way, a quick shout out to your sponsors,
My sponsors.
at Main Street Pops. Do you want to just give them?
I would love to. So thank you so much. I mean, obviously we have to purchase the content for these films that we're giving away for very, very little money. And none of this would have been possible without GMC Homes, Giovanni Marmotti,
Of course.
Natural Awakenings magazine, Laurie at Hair Cult, who not only wanting to be a sponsor has done something super cute. If when you get your t-shirt, you want to hashtag Main Street Pops, you could be in the running to win a free Aveda gift basket. So she's amazing.
Oh, sweet.
And then who did I? Oh, and Muller Insurance.
Of course.
Thank you so much,
Roger's
Muller
a great
Insurance.
guy.
I love
Yes.
Roger. All of my home
And Erica,
insurance
of course,
is with
his
them.
sister.
And
Yeah.
Erica and
Exactly.
Terry, I use over
Exactly.
there. So yes, so thank you to the 4 sponsors that we have. And if anybody would like to be a sponsor, if they love what we're doing, they want to help us put more film festivals on. This is something that we could do for children maybe during the summer, for summer camps. An individual or a business, please reach out to us at info@mainstreetpops.com.
Well, it's amazing. It's amazing. Again, I've always been impressed with just the 3 of you putting on this great program that's going to be assisting several different people, and I get a cool shirt out of it too. Shan, thanks for joining us, and we'll hopefully have Shan and Trace, or even maybe Sabrina, on for the 3rd installment on the Film Festa.
Yeah.
Folks, when we come back, John Highness of Hudson County View is going to join us in a special guest host spot. He'll be with Josh. You're not going to want to miss it. We'll be back. Peter Biancamano, your hostess with the mostest of the Pulse with Peter B. Folks, don't forget to visit our Facebook page at the Pulse with Peter B, and make sure you like and follow us on there. We're constantly updating that page with new information, and also on Instagram for all you grammars out there. Make sure you follow us there as well. We're constantly putting these really cool stories, previewing all of our episodes. And if you don't want to DM us through our Instagram or message us through our Facebook, you can always email us. And that's at thepulsewithpeterb@gmail.com. We look forward to hearing from you.
Good afternoon. I'm John Highness from Hudson County View, doing a guest spot here on The Pulse, and I'm joined with my friend Josh Sotomayor-Einstein. So Josh, obviously we're here on Hoboken, the Maxwell Pier, so it's only fitting we talk about the Mile Square City. So let's talk about this fiscal situation that has obviously led to a lot of chatter in the political circles around here, needless to tell you. So about a month or so ago, we saw there were 26 layoffs, and in turn, it would seem as a bit of a counterpunch, if you want to call it that. The council has now put some cost-saving measures on it, has approved some, including getting rid of the Office of Constituent Affairs and also public salary cuts, including the council themselves and the mayor, as well as some directors. So what's your take on this whole situation up to this point?
So I think people often describe fiscal situations like this as a cliff. I think if this is a cliff, it's a cliff in the Himalayas. And I think it's a creation not of the events around the last couple of months, not of the COVID crisis, but really of, that has added to it, but really of the mismanagement of the Ball administration. Before the crisis, as you know, the city was looking at a budget hole of around $7 million. And in a city, of our size, how do you do that? It's a question people want to know. So obviously COVID has made it worse, and it's never fun when anyone knows that their neighbors or that their community members are losing their job. But the first obligation of people in City Hall isn't to the employees in City Hall, but it's to the taxpayer whose money that they are taking, and they have no choice in the matter. So I think it's endemic of the fact that the Ball administration, and to a lesser degree, but still they bear responsibility. The city council has been irresponsible with the people's money, and I hope we don't see tax hikes, but I know that we will. And to a certain degree, we already have, right? Like, you're probably aware, the Hoboken School Board, not City Hall, but still a local government that has the power to raise taxes, up taxes, I think it's 9.95%.
Correct.
Do you think they did it just so they could say we didn't do it double digits?
I mean, look, that certainly wouldn't be the first time we've seen that sort of tactic here in Hudson County, but whatever the case may be, that's what it is, 9.95, and it was a budget that was over 80 million. The exact figure's escaping me, but it's up a little bit from last year. And, they blamed it largely on state aid cuts, which are significant. I mean, they're down nearly 9% in state aid from the year prior, and you also saw that enrollment figures are up. But, that's a hefty increase, and you would probably expect more of the same on the municipal level. I mean, I would think the final number is probably going to be in that 8 to 10 range if I'm taking an educated guess. We obviously don't know, but we saw all the chatter when there was just talk about that 5% on that third quarter tax bill. And while that hasn't been approved yet, I think that's just the tip of the iceberg. I mean, I don't think that, we're going to be in a situation where we can say, okay, 5 and done. And we also don't know what's happening at the county level. I mean, I'm hearing talk of a decrease again, which obviously would be wonderful for Hoboken residents, specifically taxpayers, of course. But, we just don't know. There's just a lot of things that have not come to light yet.
Well, listen, I don't own my property, I'm a renter. But I know when my landlord gets his tax increased, he gets to pass that on to me. And I don't blame him for doing that. No one wants to pay extra bills if they don't have to. So I think it does trickle down to everybody. But something you said before, just now rather, that is sort of like par for the course. That it's an old hat. It made me think of a junkie one time I saw shooting up in the street. And it's like, yeah, everyone expects the junkie is going to shoot up again, right? We hope, right? But without intervention, nothing is going to change. And that's the way I think a lot of people see the tax, the authorities that can tax us. They see us as their drug, and they can shake us down for more money. And the problem is never solved. There's always some sort of crisis. Obviously, COVID is an actual crisis. But when it comes to the people that want to spend their money in City Hall or on the school board, it's always the end of the world, even before COVID, and they never want to make any cuts. They never want to do anything responsibly. And if we look at the state aid and the tax increase for the school board, feel free to fact check me, but I'm fairly certain that the amount that they estimate they'll collect by the almost 10% tax increase is actually significantly more. I think by at least 3 times than the state aid that that's being withdrawn. But whether it's on the state level, the school board level, or the municipal level, they're kind of all these leaders are saying we will help the people by taking more of your money.
Well, look, as far as the fact check goes, I don't have the budget in front of me. I didn't read it page by page, to be quite frank with you. But yeah, look, I mean, it's a big increase. And to your point, we saw, again, not to be a broken record, but we saw the reaction when people thought it might be 5 on the city level, and now it's nearly double that on the school level, the school tax levy, and most people are just like, yeah, whatever, it happens. So kind of an interesting dichotomy there. I'm not really sure why that is, but that seems to be kind of commonplace in a lot of municipalities, at least here in Hudson. But
well, I think it's because, and listen, there was definitely a fair amount of uproar, at least in my Facebook feed, when the school board decided to up the taxes. But in general, people pay less attention to school board, because unless they have kids there, or many people don't even realize that it's an entity that can levy taxes. So it just goes, under the radar, even for a lot of people that are plugged into what's going on at City Hall. And on the positive side, the school board is not as divisive and is not split into 2 warring camps like City Hall is because of Mayor Bala. Which I'm actually glad, because I think they all have bad ideas.
I think it's been the best show not on Netflix.
Oh, it's great to watch,
Okay, but yeah, I mean, look, to your point, yeah, I mean, the school board, obviously, it doesn't have the same sizzle. I mean, that budget meeting where they approved this on May 7th, I mean, just 30 minutes. So can you imagine a council meeting of any city around here that would last 30 minutes? I mean, I can't.
I love watching the council meetings. I used to go to the council meetings live and sneak in like chicken nuggets from McDonald's and just eat. And because you're not allowed to do that, but sometimes it's just so entertaining, and it's going to be 5 hours long. So now sometimes I just watch it online and I just have popcorn and I'm just like, let's see who calls in and yells at the council about what today, or how they don't get along. And I just like to say that there are people on both sides of the council divide, in the mayor's camp and the opposition, that I think are wonderful people on a personal level. And we should remember that our political differences are just that. And many of them are great and wonderful people that I really, really appreciate their existence.
So look, I mean, with that said, Josh, obviously it looks like we're going to see a big tax increase. I mean, we're already seeing it this year in Hoboken. And next year, maybe it won't be as large, but I don't think anyone's of any illusion that we're going to see and things level off, nor will we see a decrease. So what does that mean for 2021's mayoral and council at large contests?
It means that, well, I think that and a lot of other things means that Mayor Bala is one and done.
So you're calling it today? That early.
Yeah. You know, he doesn't, even aside from the tax increase, even aside from his daily abuse of the Nixle emergency alert system to text people and email that was originally for emergencies, but eventually morphed into, I'm going to tell you how many people are suffering from COVID every day. So it became a daily depressing email, and then it became, I'm just going to throw in other stuff that my administration is doing that is tangentially related to the crisis. From the survey to closing down streets to whether or not the dog parks are open. All these things are not unimportant, but they're not emergencies. So from his abuse of the emergency alert system to the $7 million or greater budget hole that existed before COVID, to his, just his inability to build a coalition and, reach past his differences with his council opposition in a winner-take-all mayoral election, he's cooked.
So who wins?
Well, that depends who steps up to the plate against him. That is a bet I'm not willing to make right now. But I think he is done, and I think it's good that he'll be gone. I think he's had mostly a negative influence. He created this Office of Constituent Affairs, something that government should be doing, period, because they work for us, the public. They should all be doing constituent affairs. That was a de facto political appointee. And I'm not saying these people are bad human beings. They're not. But nonetheless, they serve the mayor's election agenda, political agenda, not the town and not the people of Hoboken.
Thanks, Josh. Thanks for tuning in, guys. We'll be right back.
Peter Biancamano back with you. Make sure you watch us on cable access every Sunday and Monday at 9 a.m. Optimum Channel 18, Files Channel 46, and Comcast Channel 190. And also, every Sunday, 9:30 a.m., we post our new episode and our segments, our individual segments, on our YouTube page. You're not going to want to miss it. Please subscribe to our channel there. We'll see you there. Welcome back to the Pulse with Peter B. I'm still your host, Peter Biancamano, here at beautiful Maxwell Place Pier in Hoboken, New Jersey. And we really have a special guest with us today. And you probably remembered her a few episodes ago. I don't want to even say a few episodes ago. A lot of episodes ago. As one of our food insiders, giving us amazing reviews of restaurants. And have you been to a lot of those restaurants recently or no?
No, there's this weird disease going on. Everything's been kind of closed, so I haven't gotten to eat in any of them recently. But I've been doing curbside to go for
I was gonna say,
Corchester.
Ostadia, you know what I mean?
Yeah, they're good. They're good, but
Corchester,
yeah, they've been doing beverages to go too.
You make fun of me. You saying that my memory's not good, but I remember all the restaurants we've reviewed on the show. The over 150 of them. Let me tell you.
I would not put it past you.
Anyway, she's Ashley Rollo of Ashley Lauren Rollo on Instagram. Follow her. Much better on that one, right?
Much better.
I was going to say. So
no
today,
hashtag.
actually, she's joining us because we all know you miss sports out there, folks. And you've been hearing a lot of news regarding sports leagues coming back and so on and so forth. And Ashley, in her day job, which we're not going to give up on the show, works in many different sports industries and has some news for us. So earlier this week, why don't we start with the National Hockey League? Earlier this week, Commissioner Gary Bettman came out and he basically said, look, we are going to cancel the regular season, but we're going to expand the playoffs. 24 teams, starting at these 2 hub locations, which he then gave like 10 cities of which those hub locations could have been. Any insight on if hockey will actually start and where they're going to start?
Well, right now it's kind of hard to tell where they're actually going to play because the governors have the power right now to dictate when people can start playing sports, when they can have people But today, I know we're shooting this a little early. Today, the governor of Texas just released that not only can professional sports teams start playing, they can also have up to 25% venue capacity of fans in attendance. So if I was the NHL, one of the first places I'd go to would be Texas. Texas would be one of the greatest places to have it because they've been out of restrictions longer. You can have a fan base there. You can start selling your merchandise there. And it's a centralized location where you can have East and West Coast teams travel to it and still cut down on some of the back and forth.
I guess it really is a crazy pandemic when we can say summer hockey in Texas.
Yeah, it's
Right or wrong.
pretty insane.
But you hit the nail on the head. You talk about merchandise. You talk about TV deals, because we all know owners make all their money on TV deals, probably 60 to 70% of it. I mean, it's a lot of money on the table. And switching over to the MLB, Major League Baseball, where the millionaires are fighting billionaires, as I like to say, you know, the players don't want to take this second pay cuts. Do you have any type of insider information on if they're just stalling here or what's going on?
What I think is, right now, if you look at it from a business perspective, it would be pretty stupid to not accept this deal. Right now, I think the players are giving pushback because they're all kind of represented by a handful of agents, and these agents are saying, no, don't take the deal. But here's the other thing. If they don't take this deal and MLB doesn't start, they could just get out of their contracts. Their contracts can be void. These guys who are willing to re-sign for next season, they're no longer within their contract obligations.
So that's interesting. So they won't be paid.
They won't be paid at all, and they could probably be out of their contracts, and then when they go to negotiate it again next year, there's a good chance that they can get a much lower rate for next year.
But it might be caught up in court because the whole pandemic and so on and so forth. But that's interesting. I mean, I know I would rather be paid than and playing. But
Yeah.
and you know, it's not even because of safety measures, from what I understand. I think they're okay with what the league, what MLB wants to do in terms of testing. It's really just about the money.
It really is about the money, and what people need to start understanding, what the players need to understand, and the owners also need to understand, it's bigger than baseball at this point. It's not just the players who won't be getting paid. It's not just the owners who won't be getting ticket income. It's all of the people. You and I both work in television. We both know how it is. It's the editors. It's the graphics ops. It's the producers. It's the directors. A lot of guys behind the scenes are now out of jobs. And that's not even including the concession workers. Right now, what's going on in sports across the board is you have thousands upon thousands of people out of work right now because some people just don't want to agree to disagree and just do what's best for the people.
And I think there's the level of mistrust between the players and the owners, and it's really, really unfortunate. I want to stick with the four major sports. The NBA. Let's talk about the association, as we said. I think the NBA is one of the most difficult sports to start in this COVID pandemic, or this COVID world, I should say, because I mean, you're literally breathing on each other, you're touching each other. Obviously, testing is testing, but any insight to what the NBA is going to do? It's been very quiet.
The NBA hasn't really decided what they're going to do yet. There's a lot of different options. Right now, the owner of the Mavericks came out and said, if you guys want to use my facility, you can. But if you were to go back, I think it was about 2 weeks now, players have been able to practice at their home facilities. So NBA players in groups of 4, no trainers, no nothing, can actually play in the NBA facilities. Now, they've been warming up, and it's been giving them hope and the love of the game to come back and want to play in front of their fans. So right now, I think the NBA players will be willing to come back. They just need to figure out where, because there's so many teams in the NBA across multiple states that have, some are open, some are closed, some don't have any plan, you know. But it seems to be a good common consensus among the NBA players that they do want to start playing again.
That's great. Unbelievable. All right, now to the National Football League. They are the luckiest sport out of all of this because their season doesn't start until a little later on in September. But still, I mean, you know, you listen to whatever Roger Goodell says, who is loved among many different fans. Anyway, if you can hear my sarcasm there. He's like, yeah, we're starting normal. We're going to start our preseason in early August. We're planning to have fans in the stadium. You think it's a lot of bluff?
No, I actually don't. To be perfectly honest, right now, some of the major teams have already started telling their guys, get ready, we are going to have a season. I mean, in Tampa Bay, you know, they're going to want to make sure that they have people in their fans in attendance.
Exactly, because those Brady jerseys, right?
Fun fact, I accidentally bought season tickets to the Buccaneers, so I'm kind of hoping that they start playing
You
too.
gonna be flying to Tampa every week?
I'll probably be selling my tickets on the internet.
Smart. She has the side hustle going on. She knows exactly what she's
Well,
doing.
there's no sports really going on, so I can't put all my eggs in those baskets.
You really, really can't. So you're really rooting for Tampa Bay, I'm guessing, to get a couple playoff games.
Yes.
This is I know you. This is the first time you've ever rooted for Tom Brady. I've known you for a
I
while
am
now.
rooting for my bank account. So let's just make
Absolutely
that
love it.
clear.
I absolutely love it.
But plus the crazy thing is, it just so happens that the Super Bowl is going to be in Tampa Bay this year.
That's
and
right.
as a season ticket holder, you get first dibs on seats in a lottery. But we're both going to wind up working that anyway. So who are we kidding?
Exactly. We're going to be ticket brokers on the side.
Yeah,
You
we'll
know
be
what I
like,
mean?
yeah, no, we're
Exactly.
working.
Or ticket scalpers, as they say. As long as we don't get caught, right?
Yeah, no. But I mean, we'll probably both be running around busy like we did last year.
Exactly. So actually, I have to be honest. We have like a minute left here. Has the pandemic been treating you gloriously, or?
I've been outside all the time. I have been running and walking like my life depended on it. And it's at the point where you can't say it's hot. I'll lose my mind.
Exactly. You got to do your steps. You got to get your steps in.
I got to get my steps in. 5 miles a day, minimum.
5 miles. It's
Yeah.
like 20 steps.
Yeah, only 20 steps.
Anyway, we're getting into like aerobics here. We got to go here, all right? So Ashley Rollo of Ashley Lauren Rollo. Follow her on Instagram. We hope you come back.
I will.
I want you
will.
to talk sports, food. Maybe we'll just mix it all up.
Yeah,
We'll do,
let's
like
just
a
make
wing
sure another
challenge or
pandemic doesn't happen. I would love to do a wing challenge.
something. All right.
We got to get Josh in on this.
Oh
So,
man,
people,
I don't know about that now, but we'll see. Well, Ashley Rollo, thank you so much for
Thank you for
joining
having
us.
me, guys.
And folks, you heard it here first. The 4 major sports are coming back, according to Ashley, which is a very, very good source. So you're going to want to stay tuned for that. Folks, join us next week for the Pulse on everything you need to know. I'm Peter Biancamano. Have a great week.